You have a Betta at home, but there's a good chance you've been misreading it. Because when we say Betta fish, we're actually talking about at least 4 completely distinct personalities with genuinely different characters. Knowing which one you have changes everything. Why it behaves the way it does, what stresses it out, and what it's trying to tell you. Today we're going to go through all 4 personalities one by one. Which one is the fastest and most aggressive fish in the aquarium? Which one carries an exhausted spirit buried under those enormous fins? Which one can't handle current and turns irritable because of it? And at the end of the video, you'll see just how incomplete the statement, "Bettas live alone," actually is. But first, know this. All 4 personalities come from the same species, but fin structure directly shapes character, and understanding that connection changes everything. If this channel is new to you and you're enjoying the content, consider liking the video and subscribing. Let's get into it. Personality 1. Plakat. Freedom without fins. Short tail, compact body, nothing slowing it down. That's what sets the Plakat apart from other bettas. It doesn't have to fight water resistance. No long, heavy fins dragging behind it. Just speed, energy, and curiosity. It explores every corner of the tank, examines every new object. When you put your finger up to the glass, the Plakat is almost always the first one there. When you open the lid, it's the first one at the surface. But that energy comes with a cost. The Plakat has the highest territorial response among domestic bettas. When it sees a mirror, when it sees another male, when it catches a movement outside the tank, the flare comes fastest and hardest with this type. The genetic imprint of its fighting heritage is most visible in this personality. And one more thing, the Plakat gets bored. In a small, bare, unstimulating tank, that energy turns inward. Stress behaviors begin, constantly patrolling the glass, swimming vertically, refusing food. This fish needs things to discover, corners to investigate, an environment that keeps it engaged. Where there's energy, there's curiosity. And where there's curiosity, a real bond can form. Plakat owners usually describe this personality as the betta that interacts with me the most. Personality 2. Halfmoon. Stunning, but tired. The first time you see a halfmoon, it takes your breath away. A tail that opens to a full 180 degrees, flowing fins that move like fabric in water. This is one of the most visually striking fish in the entire aquarium hobby, but it has to carry the weight of those fins every single second. Compared to the Plakat, the halfmoon is far calmer, more deliberate, and tires more easily. You'll often find it resting on broad leaves inside the tank. This isn't laziness, it's a physical reality. That enormous tail is constantly fighting water resistance. Every stroke takes significantly more energy than it would for a Plakat. That physical reality translates directly into character. The halfmoon tends to be less aggressive, less reactive, less unpredictable. If it's going to spend energy, it needs a reason worth spending it on. But that calm doesn't mean it's easy to keep. These fins are incredibly fragile. Sharp decor, coarse gravel, strong filter current, all of it leads to fin tears. If you own a halfmoon, these details matter in your tank setup. A torn fin can heal, but it can leave a mark. Give a halfmoon time, and it learns who you are. Its calmness becomes a sign of trust. It asks for patience, and it gives back. Personality 3. Crowntail. Beautiful and difficult. When you first see a crowntail's crown-shaped tail, your first thought is aesthetic. Fair enough. The visual impact of this type is undeniable. But this fish's personality tells a very different story from its appearance. Among hobbyists, the crowntail is known as the most irritable, most territorial, and most unpredictable personality on this list. High territorial response, fast and forceful reaction to stimuli. Another fish, a mirror, a finger, even movement outside the tank, any of these can trigger an immediate flare. But here's the most critical point. One of the biggest triggers for this aggression is water current. The crowntail's unique tail structure, those spiked, webbing-reduced extensions, makes it far more sensitive to water flow than other types. A strong filter output, high current, puts this fish under constant stress. And a crowntail under chronic stress behaves far more irritably, far more reactively, far more unpredictably. Here's the key observation. The same fish, once the current is reduced and a calm environment is provided, can become noticeably more manageable. If you own a crowntail and it seems permanently aggressive, the first thing to look at is your filter current. That one small change can sometimes make all the difference. Personality 4. Dumbo ear. A prisoner of its own grace. Those oversized pectoral fins. It swims almost like a butterfly opening its wings. When those fins are fully spread, they take up a lot of space inside the tank. Visually imposing, large, dramatic. But the appearance is deceiving. The Dumbo ear is generally the most peaceful character on this list. Because those enormous pectoral fins prevent quick movement, it doesn't have the agility of a Plakat. It can't launch a sudden strike like a Crowntail. Instead, it displays a more careful, defensive, observational character. It looks large but prefers to retreat. When it senses a threat, it moves away rather than attacking. Space is very important for this personality. When it has its own corner and a structure it can shelter in, it behaves far more openly and comfortably. And those fins, even more fragile than the Halfmoons, highly prone to tearing. Strong current challenges this fish both physically and psychologically. Calm water, plenty of hiding spots, gentle tank mates, these are this fish's non-negotiables. Which personality does your fish remind you of? At this point, you can probably make a guess. Write it in the comments. Wild Bettas, a world you've never heard of. Now we get to the part most people don't know about. Honestly, I didn't either before I started looking into it. When we talk about Bettas, we operate with one default assumption. These fish live alone, they fight, you keep one at a time. That assumption is largely true for domestic Betta splendens, but in the wild, there are very different Betta species, and seeing them makes you question everything you thought you knew about this fish. Betta imbellus, the peaceful Betta. The name says it all. Imbellus is Latin for non-warrior. It looks similar to a domestic Betta, but when males compete over territory, they don't kill each other. There's a ritualized display of strength, flaring, turning broadside, intensifying color, and then one backs down. Fight over. This is one of the rare Bettas that can be kept in groups under the right conditions. Even as a concept, it's hard to believe, but it's real. Betta macrostoma, the mouth brooder. This species is one of the most impressive characters in the wild Betta world. Large, calm, regal, and its reproductive method changes everything. It doesn't carry eggs in a bubble nest. The male carries them in his mouth. For weeks, he doesn't eat, just carries them. This evolutionary choice has a dramatic effect on territorial behavior. There's no nest in open water to defend, so that intense, constant, lethal territorial pressure is dramatically reduced. He lives peacefully alongside his mate, shows fidelity, and hunts cooperatively with her, the complete opposite of a domestic Betta. Betta albimarginata, the colony Betta. Small, social, and surprising. In a properly decorated aquarium, dense planting, plenty of hiding spots, multiple males and females can coexist. They tolerate each other. They form group dynamics. Seeing this species dismantles every mental model you've built about what a Betta is. 4 domestic personalities. 3 wild species. All carrying the name Betta. But knowing which one you have changes things in practice. It changes your tank setup. The Plakat wants stimulation. The Halfmoon wants calm flow. The Crowntail wants low current. The Dumbo ear wants plenty of shelter. The same setup produces 4 completely different outcomes for 4 different personalities. It changes how you interpret behavior. The Crowntail's irritability may not be a character problem. It may be a current problem. The Halfmoon sitting in the corner isn't laziness, it's energy management. And most importantly, it adjusts your expectations. If you're expecting Halfmoon-level serenity from a Plakat, disappointment is inevitable. If you're expecting domestic Betta reactivity from a wild species, you're looking at the wrong fish entirely. You have a Betta at home, but now you're not just calling it a Betta. Is it a Plakat, a Halfmoon, a Crowntail, a Dumbo, or a wild species? Each one has its own language, its own needs, its own limits, and knowing the difference means being able to read why that fish behaves the way it does, when it's getting stressed, and what it's trying to tell you. Which personality is your Betta? Did you find yours on this list? Or are you still not quite sure? Write it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious to hear your answers. If you're wondering which species I'll be covering next and you don't want to miss it, you know what to do. See you under the water.